Okay, we're at Arcadia Mill Archaeological Site of an old, almost 200-year-old mill. We're in the back part of it, and we're going to do this backwards more or less. There really wasn't a front to begin, beginning to end, front to back kind of thing. It was kind of just all scattered together anyway. But I'm in the very back of it, of the area. This over here is getting ready to turn into a bunch of hiking trails. This little indentation is part of this. It's the flume. It says Timothy Twitchell built a house and began construction of a sawmill along his new property. To power this mill, constructed a dam and mill pond of his own, but needed power from the larger Arcadia Mill Pond and Pond Creek to operate the machinery. A flume was dug extending from the Arcadia Mill to his mill pond to Twitchell's mill, providing the necessary power and transportation from the holding pens. The flume is still visible today and extends northeast where it empties into the pond created by Twitchell 170 years ago. Okay, so that's really cool. We see where we are now. We're here. This is where this is his flume, and apparently his mill was up in this area somewhere. So the Arcadia Mill portion of the Arcadia Mill Archaeological Site is back this way. So we're going to go back this way. And again, there's trails. There's something here that I don't know if that's supposed to be the Florida Trail or not. I didn't go down here yet. I'm not really going to go too far down here. These are all just a bunch of, recreational walking trail kind of things, as far as I know. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back up here to the boardwalk, where I saw some really neat archaeological, more or less ruins. There were some brick ruins. There's some earthworks. You can see more of this flume pond, mill race kind of thing. And then there's other real neat stuff off of this creek. I'm not even sure what the name of this creek is, though. I probably just read it off of that last interp sign. So there's a whole bunch of signs. This reminds me of that one I was at a few weeks ago. There were actually more signs there than there was actual features, geographical or archaeological features that you could really delineate anything from. But this is a little bit different than that. There are some really clearly defined features here. Mill races, the flume, the brick structures, and the mill was here. It was on this site somewhere. I think it must have been where those brick ruins were. Those bricks that are kind of just sitting there, more or less. They must have been the foundation for something some time ago. And of course, there's a lot of nature interp signs telling you what trees are in front of you and that sort of thing. Although that's probably there's probably more of those than there are of the others. Here's a really cool geographical feature, archaeological feature. And this path, if I had my shoes on, I probably would just walk myself right on back up in there. But I don't. It's getting late. Don't really want to get arrested anywhere, but not in whatever the heck county I'm in. Oh, here this talks about the flume again. Exact same picture. And here's some guys from back in the day that were digging and working, and as you can see from them, it's a whole heck of a lot bigger than what it is right now. Charles Elliott contracted to repair and extend an existing log flume that passed through Arcadia. Subsequently, flume connected to pine forest of northern Santa Rosa County to the steam-powered mill complex along Blackwater River in Baghdad. Elliott cleaned out the existing 16-mile Arcadia flume and extended it approximately 3 miles to the mouth of Pond Creek, measuring about 3 feet wide and 4 to 6 feet deep. The flume was supported by pilings that are still visible today. That's interesting. So this is an actual different part than the flume. This flume was the Twitchell flume. This is the flume, Elliott's flume. It's the same picture, so it's not the same flume. My bad. Very cool, man. Very cool. Here are some old steps / ramp leading down to a kind of a bridge in the bottom. I don't get the sense that these are anything more than a few years old. It's probably part of the original, before they built the boardwalk, part of the original way you would get around back in there. So I don't think that's anything significant other than it is part of the park. There's the end of it, more or less, down there, and so much overgrowth. It's so difficult to see some of the features, many of the features. I'm sure it'd be more if you could get yourself back on up in there. It'd be even more than that. Arcadia Dam to ensure a constant source of water power. Foresight constructed 1,200 foot long earth and ironstone dam. Today 4 segments of the dam remain. 1 segment lies south of Pond Creek and 3 remnants occur north of the creek. So this is the one, this is part of the segment that we're looking at right now. So that's pretty neat. Oh, I see. The large breach in the dam may have been purposely created during the war to destroy the sawmill operation. Okay. Dam varied in width between 30 and 120 feet and stood 13 to 15 feet high, constructed of earth, covering an ironstone core. The dam was carefully designed to hold back the large amount of water needed to operate the complex. Oh, that's cool. Very neat. Very neat. There's the railroad bed site. Okay. Be able to get more of an idea of. Oh, there's the rest of the dam, or some more of the dam, I should say, not the rest of it. That's that same segment. Apparently, there's another segment. There's 3 other segments over this way. So, and here is that part of that pass. So the people that work here just come here and hop down and walk around at will, but the rest of us can't do this. Okay, so this is called Pond Creek, and down there a little ways is are the brick remains, the brick ruins, which must have served as a foundation for the actual mill. And as you can see, we're in October, and it's pretty rapidly flowing right along. I can imagine what working in this must have been like. Okay, Arcadia Dam and Water Works. Flumes, ditches, and dams were constructed to divert water, holding ponds. By 1835, the Arcadia Mill was producing 250,000 board feet of lumber. By the end of the decade, the mill was shipping at least 900,000 board feet of lumber each year. So there was a water wheel here. They created the sluice to create the power. Turn the wheel and power the mill. Logs were dragged up an incline through one end of the sawmill and placed on a horizontal bed of carriage, which moved them into the saw. Logs were cut in 2 or more pieces, repositioned on a carriage, etc., etc., etc. Typical sawmill operation consists of a crank, etc. Alright, so the dam is here. And here. So I wonder what part that is. It must be that right there. Okay. Seems like kind of backwards though. The mill isn't behind us, it's on the other side. Okay, so all this would have been part of the mill race. They would have dammed the water up to funnel it into the sluice and the race, and that would have provided the power. Okay, this existing foundations, okay. Sawmill foundation on the dam. Perimeter beam. So the mill, we must not have access to the mill. Okay, they have the second sawmill foundation, textile mill foundations that way, and Pond Creek funnel railroad bed this way. Alright, so here we are. We're going to go around here and around here. Basically come back to where we are. Okay. It says here retaining walls form a funnel. Dam. Okay. So apparently they think they know about where second sawmill. Okay, that's the second sawmill. And the original sawmill. This is likely the sawmill, so they must not know exactly where it is. I'm going to run down here and see what in the heck's what. Okay, this is the mill race. It's really challenging to put a face on all of this stuff. You see that might have been like a path for draft animals. Here we go, the mill race. The extensive mill race provided power by transporting water from Pond Creek to the mill complex. The mill race channeled water from the Arcadia Mill Pond to the water wheel at the second sawmill and textile mill. Okay. And that's this. Okay. So we're still on the second, where the first, they don't know 100% where that's at, apparently. So this would have, existed then, but it would have been going a lot faster. It would have had a lot more to it. Okay, now here, these are some foundations. So this must be the so-called second mill. I don't know. But they're definitely stone foundations. So we can assume it's from the mill. And this is where they would have diverted the water to, right down in here. It'd be cool to see some bear footprints. Even cooler to see a bear. Here's some more rock foundations. And possibly the sluice they were talking about earlier. No, I don't know. Plunge pool. The plunge pool was adjacent to the second sawmill and textile mill, constructed of massive ironstone blocks. The plunge pool was designed to protect the mill from flood and erosion. After powering the wheel, the water was collected in the plunge pool and funneled, etc. So this is a retaining wall behind me. Oh, I see. So they're saying the second mill was right above us. And these are retaining walls coming to the plunge pool. Okay, so the water would have come down from there, from the right, into to turn this wheel. Everything was about the power to turn the wheel. That in turn turned everything inside of the mill itself. I've seen that on a bunch of occasions in the south. Oh, there's some more of that wall. So this one and this one. So the plunge pool was behind me. And the second mill site would have been up in there somewhere. Okay. How cool is that? Arcadia Railroad and Twitchell's Mill. So apparently there's a railroad bed back in here that you're really not going to get to see, because people would lose their mind if I hop this fence and start traipsing back in through there. And I don't want to be the cause of anyone losing their mind. Arcadia Pail Factory. Okay, so Twitchell had a mill here too. I wonder how that worked. They were both using the same water source for two different mills. I wonder if there was ever any competition or anything like that. Okay, so up in here must have been the area for the second mill. It must be very, very close to that. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Okay, so some of this was just natural erosion. There's another retaining wall of some sort. Okay, so right there, I guess you can see where the plunge pool rather, was or is. So the mill, the second mill would have been right around here. The first and largest cotton factory in Antebellum, Northwest Florida. Okay. So it says here this mill was destroyed by fire and never rebuilt. That there's some kind of marker there that must determine where it was. Must have been right in there somewhere. Pretty neat stuff, man. Pretty neat stuff. Glad I got to see this. And this must just all be natural erosion, I would guess. I don't know. Well, here's some more retaining wall. That's pretty cool. Very well delineated and cut out, and you can tell what's what from there for sure. Pretty neat. Okay. That whole thing is pretty neat. Yeah, you can really see it here. I didn't see it the first time around. Cool, man. Cool stuff. So right in here somewhere was the site, the exact site of the second mill slash textile mill. Sawmill slash textile mill. Wonder where their cemetery was. Alright. We're very close to a neighborhood. Apparently there were plans to build in here. Of course, got to build everywhere, and these people stopped them. It wasn't that many years ago, apparently. And then you can see right there's a house right on the edge of this thing. Right on the edge of this incredible archaeological site. I don't know if there's any other ruin type features up here. Yeah, in fact, I think this is it. We're going to shut this down.